Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gon' talk, we gon' have fun. We be on fire, we be lit. It's a unique hustle.
Check it. It's a unique hustle. It's your boy ECO, and I'm here with the lovely, amazing, official Miss Jamaica. What's going on?
Nothing, no more well going. I want y'all to stop what you're doing right now. Go like, subscribe, follow us from all social media platforms. When I mean all, I mean our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. You name it, we're on it. Just Google us, Boss Talk Podcast 101. We'll pop up first in line, I guarantee you. But y'all see us on the streets and talk about, man, I love what y'all doing. Keep up the good work. How can we be a part of Boss Talk? This is how you can be a part of Boss Talk. Under each and every interview, including this one right here in the description section below, there's a link that says join our membership. Click that link, follow all the instructions, and that's how you can see all the exclusive content. Y'all been asking us, where's this interview? Where's that interview? You got to be a member to see it. Thank you in advance, and we love you.
Man, check it, man. We down here in San Antonio, Texas, man. It's about to go down. I told y'all, man, Boss Talk 101 pulling up in every city, man. We touring, and guess what, y'all? We also getting ready to let y'all know in on the secrets before they happen. We working on some stuff over here, man. Make sure you guys get ready, because we got an app that's coming out where you can download all our exclusive content every time. But my guys in the building, man. King Kylie is in the building, man. Hey. Stop playing, man. Hey. Kylie is in the building. Listen, man, I've been waiting on this. Man, you've been talking about this now for almost 2 years.
Man, it's been a minute. Yeah, long time coming.
I've been calling because at the end of the day, being that I'm in Texas and I've been to Houston, I've been to Waco, and I've been to Dallas, Houston, Waco, Shreveport. You know, I've been hitting on all cylinders. I said, man, I gotta get down here, man, and see my boy King Kylie in the building, man. Let's get to it, Miss Jamaica.
So you're born and raised here in San Antonio?
Nah, actually, I was born and raised in Houston.
That's what I thought. I was just checking.
Yeah.
What part?
Southwest.
Southwest? Yes. Okay, because I hear north, I hear southwest. What part is southwest?
So I was born over by Fungin and West Bedford.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so were you raised by your mom and your dad in the same household?
No.
Who raised
mother,
you?
My mother.
Your mom? So where was Dad?
Dad was there. He was there. He just
So he didn't raise you, but he was there.
Yeah, he come get me on the weekends, stuff like that. But he was a process of raising me though. Yes, but early beginnings all the way till I was 13. My mama. Your mama,
and then he started being active in your life at 13.
Yeah, he was active. He was active. It's just like I say, weekends. I see him, stuff like that. But he was in my life though. He's been in my life my whole life.
So you had that father influence. Every time when you start acting up, she called him, and he came and took care of business.
So that part didn't come into play till 13.
Till 13.
Yeah.
Okay, so how was he as a father before 13? Because you said that didn't come into play.
Just like I say, just going on the weekends, certain little maybe family functions. My family from Louisiana on his side, so we always be in Louisiana, stuff like that. But he was in my life though, I will say that. But as far as like every day, all day, it was like mama house.
So you started acting up at 13, it seemed like. Why he had to step in?
Yeah, I think around 13, I just got a little rebellious and bad in school, and I failed the 7th grade twice, and my mama didn't know what to do, and so my daddy ended up taking me then.
Well, looking back at your life now, because you're grown, you can analyze certain things. What was going on that made you act out, that made you have bad grades, that made you do all of that?
Come to think about it, I don't know. Just maybe influence, and I wasn't really a bad kid like that. I just didn't want to listen to the teachers and stuff like that, and just being bad in school. But as far as just like being a bad kid, I never been a bad kid. Just it was just a time where I just didn't care about school at all, and I didn't think I needed to listen to nobody. So
I think a lot of kids go through that where they be like, why am I even here? What is school going to give me that, the real world?
Yeah.
The kids say that all the time.
And throughout my life, by the time I got to college, I kind of figured out why maybe I didn't care about school, because that's when I found out I got dyslexia. And so maybe that was
So it was hard for you. Maybe. But, back then, the schools was different, because now the schools are picking it up and trying to get you tested to see if you do have it to get you help.
I never got tested before for it or nothing. So
You know, back in my day, they'll beat the dyslexia up out of you. My granddad had something he did that was totally different. You couldn't really just, if you had an issue with something, it was a whooping involved. I know y'all call it abuse, but I needed every whooping that they gave. Grandpa, daddy, mamas, switches. I needed, not switches on the car, nigga, just, wow.
Yeah.
And you had to go pick it yourself.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to go pick it because my daddy, when picked it, he actually was a person who cut timber. So at the end of the day, he come back with a tree.
Yeah, he
come back with a whole damn tree.
Yeah.
You feel me? But I get it though. 7th grade, you had to go back through the 7th grade twice.
Yes.
How tough was that, man?
Only passed the 7th grade because you can't fail twice.
Oh,
Really? So they couldn't do it.
So they had to pass me up.
But they would have did it again if it would have been up.
So the crazy part about that too is that my mama, it happened with my mama the first time, and I moved with my daddy, and I fell with him too.
So it was 2 different schools.
And when I was with
Was it 2 different schools?
2 different schools.
Wow.
Yeah. And when I was with my daddy, if I got in trouble, my mama would come get me from school and whoop my head with me.
So you got a lot of whooping.
Yeah, I got a few whoopings, man.
Wow.
But you finished high school even having dyslexia, not knowing about it. How they just pushed you through because they wanted you out of there? Or did you start doing better?
Nah, so I was actually able to apply myself and just once basketball got introduced into my life, I figured it out. So with my dyslexia comes this problem solving effect that I have.
Okay.
And I think it's from my dyslexia to where I just have to solve problems. So when I found out school was getting a little difficult for me, but I knew that I in order to play basketball, I had to pass, I figured it out. You know what I'm saying? If I got with people, if I studied as much as I needed to study until I remembered it. Because remember, if my dyslexia, I read backwards. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like people read from right to left. My dyslexia read from the bottom of the page left to right.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was crazy and then that makes me have to read stuff like 5-6 times in order to understand it. But like if we had like a big old paragraph, I could read it. I could read the paragraph backwards to you super fast, just like somebody could read it normally.
So you got into college because of basketball.
Yeah, that's it.
And how did you find out that you had dyslexia? Who came to you and how did that happen?
The Cosby Show. Theo.
Huh?
Theo.
Come on now. Theo helped him to figure it out.
Yeah,
Tell me
Theo.
about it.
So it was an episode where Theo found out Theo had dyslexia, and all the symptoms Theo had, I was having. And so I told my coach, I said, Coach, I think I might got dyslexia. I was watching the Cosby Show. And
That's hard. I like that. Come on, man. Come on now.
So Coach got me tested, and sure enough, I got a literature and arithmetic disorder. Yep.
Do they have like classes for you to take or
Yes,
strategies?
in college, they have accommodations. So say there's a class that's with literature or arithmetic that may not be to something that you have to do, that I have to do, because classes in college, some of the classes you don't have to do.
Yeah.
So if it's nothing that's got to do with my major, that I can get a substitute class. So they was giving me substitute classes for certain classes. It wasn't that many. It's probably like 3 or 4 different substitute classes that I got to compensate, for my dyslexia.
Because what I was wondering, because there's a lot of people out there who suffer from stuff like this, and I was wondering if there is a technique, like a learning technique that they teach people with this dyslexia to.
Yeah, so you get like like for me with reading, like if I read from left to right, backwards, pretty much, they give you it's a special highlighter to help you highlight certain things, and then they give you like it's a size of a piece of paper, but they give you it's blue. It's like blue, like see-through blue, then a see-through red or see-through yellow. Okay. And that's supposedly it didn't help me, but
I was just about to ask,
it's supposedly supposed to help your mind concentrate to read it the correct way. But
it didn't
I
help
had
you.
to train myself to do it. It took me almost 30 years, but I did
Dang.
it. I did it.
That's
so
crazy.
I can read normal, fine, just fine now. But
do any of your kids have it?
I don't know. I don't think so. My son 5, the girls, they have a different father, my 3 girls. But my son, he doing good. But
Okay.
he's 5 though.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I'm definitely gonna get him tested though, just to make sure and see.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you a little bit about what I seen on the internet as far as the bullying and the the anti-bullying gang. Like, I want to talk about like how I know you went through stuff in school, but what did that first stem from?
For me to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's God.
Okay, talk about it.
Yeah, back in 2020, when COVID hit, they had closed down Walmart for, I don't know, like a couple months, I think. They closed Walmart down, and then Walmart opened back up. And the first day Walmart opened back up, I was super excited because I get to go back in Walmart, which I don't care about Walmart no more. But back then, I was going to Walmart and excited about going to Walmart in 2020 when it opened back up after we was on quarantine. So I get to Walmart, I pull up into my parking spot, and it's almost as if like, I don't know, when they say, hey, something like a light flash on you from the heavens or something, and boom, something hit me and said, man, you should do something about kids getting bullied. And I was like, okay, maybe this guy telling me this. So I picked up the phone and called my wife, and I said, baby, I think God want me to do something about kids getting bullied. And she said, oh, okay, baby, all right. And that was it. And I said, all right. And 2 weeks later, parents started hitting me up on Instagram and Facebook about their kid getting bullied. And I said, well, I'm gonna figure something out for you, and this is what I figured out.
So parents started hitting you up out of the blue. It wasn't anything. Did you post something for them?
I didn't post nothing until after. So
out of the blue, they just hit you up.
Yep.
It's like God giving that second confirmation that I told you, now here it is.
And then along the way, there's so many things that he's been doing to show me that this is exactly what he
the
wanted
path
me to
you
do.
need to be on.
Yep.
But then we seen on your social medias the way how you always taking pictures, videos, posting it and stuff like that. And then you'll have some people, because anybody who do anything charitable and post it, they're always saying, oh, he just doing it for the views and the likes and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
What do you say about something like that?
I think that people need to realize that, like, especially in today's world, there's so much negativity, and there's so many negative influences that maybe if God asked me to start this, then maybe God also asked me to post about it so that I could spread positivity and love and show others how to respect people and how to be positive and how to be solid individuals and stop getting on these crash dummy missions and acting like y'all are solid. I mean, we cannot be disrespectful to people. We cannot be rude to people. We cannot be negative and assume the worst and think that you're doing good in life.
I'm really, and I agree with that 100%, because when I first started Boss Talk, I seen my kids on the phone a lot, right? Mm-hmm. But I also knew that I lost my parents early. Yeah. And I just wanted them to have something in case something happened to me, to where they can go back and look and see what type of father I was, right? Yeah. So what type of father I was when I was around. I wanted them to see that, so that's why I started doing this, right? Okay. So you got to think about it, man, just to see what you're doing and to put it in that space is so needed, because there is so much stuff going on that's negative, that's being loaded, lies, scandals, a lot of fraudulent stuff where people are, and to see kids smile. Mm-hmm. See, instead of just, you can look at it and call it bad, but to see kids smile, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. You think about like how negative this whole, internet thing can be. Yeah. It's a blessing to see what you're doing, man, and I commend you. And that's the reason Boss Talk here. Yeah. Because that was first before even the entertainment. Even though I know you dope and I'd rather bang screw and all, I get it. Yeah. But what you doing, that's so heavy, bro. Yeah. Because every kid in school ain't at a level to where they're gonna be able to. I just seen a horrible thing online where a kid slapped another kid hard, bow, and he just stood there. And everybody kept sharing it. Yeah. And I thought about you. I was like, man, I wish the anti-bully gang could pull up for him. Because everybody's like, well, I know his daddy really, and they talking about it like, you got to understand, bro. Like, my cousin went in school and shot a person in their chest. And when he came to TYC, moved with me, but like for being bullied. You understand what I'm saying?
How old was he?
who my cousin that shot the dude, he was around by 16, 15.
It was in the school. Like,
It was in the school. He went to school and took his mama gun and shot the dude. He wasn't not trying to hear it, but I knew from his dad and his mom and who he is and his bloodline. Yeah. If I'd have seen old boy doing it, I'd have told him, man, he not the one to do like that.
Exactly.
Because when he going all the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it didn't have to go there, but that's what it can drive you to. They were laughing.
That's what this about, man. You know, back to what you said. The question. People that don't understand this mission, I can't be concerned about them because they on a negative frame anyway. If your mind is negative, then you gonna look at something negative and then assume something negative about it because you got a negative mind frame. But if you was positive, you would try to look at the positive side of it and the influence that it brings. And the influence that it brings saves lives. So I could give a damn about what anybody got to say about what's going on over here because everything is genuine and 100% solid. And it's a mission from the God above. Like, this is not something of human form. This is godly. And God put me on this mission to do it. So it's something that, the average person wouldn't understand. They wouldn't understand it. It's too powerful. You know what I'm saying?
The word of God says the natural mind can't discern the things of the spirit.
It's just, I don't have time to concern myself with those type of people.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? I just let them know, hey, God bless you. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
A couple questions. Since you had dyslexia when you were younger, were you bullied when you were younger?
Yeah. I was bullied.
Tell me about a situation when you were bullied. How extreme did it get? Like the worst situation that happened to you?
One of the worst situations was probably 9th grade. These two older upperclassmen, every morning when I would come to school, they would try to just jump me, and they chase me around the school. I had to really run around the school to get away from them, and it was every morning for a while, and then I grew, and then they kind of started seeing we should leave him alone.
Yeah, because you got taller.
Yeah, but yeah, that was one. It wasn't too many, but there was a few. I done been jacked at gunpoint for my starter jacket, jacked for my shoes at gunpoint.
That's when you were grown?
No,
that's when he was growing up, starter jacket.
Okay.
Yeah, this when I was, between 11 and 14.
Okay.
Yeah. That was a big thing back then too, when the starter jackets.
Okay, but the next thing I wanted to know was, what you do to help stop the bullying? When you do a rally or you go into the schools and you help the kids or you talk to the kids and you do all of that. Now, do you follow up with the kids the next day? Because I'm sure that when you're there, some of the kids come to you and say, yeah, I experienced bullying. This is going on, that's going on. But when you're gone, how is that kid being helped?
Oh, it's a continued process. That's why we got one of my first kids we picked up my second year doing this, RJ, his dad on the way up here. I do, number one, these kids are like my little brothers and sisters. These are not just some kids I post online. These kids, me and their families have conversations. I help their parents come up with solutions before before you ever see a video at a school. You better believe before I pulled up to that school, me and that parent and had deep conversations about what's going on with that school. Had they been over there to talk to the principal? Had they talked to the teacher? Have they went and raised hell? And I teach them, you can raise hell positively. Just be stern. Don't be disrespectful. Make sure that you're positive. So I talk to these parents, and then once I talk to the parents, because before I even do any of this, like I said, the parents hit me up. I don't reach out to nobody. So say if there's a bullying, like you said, you saw a bullying issue, I'm not gonna go hit up those people and be like, hey, this or that. Unless it's something super bad, you know what I'm saying? Then I will contact or I have somebody reach out, do y'all need any assistance with anything? But for the most part, I'm not reaching out to parents because number one, I'm so overwhelmed. There are so many parents contacting me. I don't have time to go out reaching to other people because I got so many cases I'm dealing with on my own right now. So when it comes to these parents and these families, these are my family. You ask all of them, we family. At the end of every school year, I put together an event and I invite all of them and we come hang out and I introduce kids to other kids that been bullied, and then they get to talk and they make friends with each other and they families, and they get to see, oh, I'm not the only one that's being bullied. This happened to him too. Yeah, for sure do. It happened to him, it happened to her. And they get to see like, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not by myself with this. Like right now, next week on Tuesday, I'm taking 100 of them to main event for free.
Wow.
Free games,
That's big.
free food, whatever. And we're gonna talk, we're gonna hang out. And it's just to let them know like I'm here and I'm not going nowhere. And so, I done been to schools twice. You know these. I go back to schools if I got to. Like,
So do you only do high schoolers, or do you middle school, elementary? Do you do all of them?
I go to college. I'll pull up to your job. You getting bullied.
Oh, so it's not only exclusive to kids.
Nah. See, adult situations are different. You know what I'm saying? But it's not just for kids. Bullying go all the way. Shit,
Come on, man.
I done seen, man, you got a president bullying people right now. He almost 80 years old. You feel me? So, I mean.
How you going to rectify that?
How am I going to rectify that? That's huge, right? We might have to pull up to the White House. You know what I'm saying? But now, anything in this life, man, you just got to do your best to try to get better every day. Try to get better every day and be positive, man. Remain positive.
I see you got a Texas proclamation to honor you.
Yes.
Did you know that was coming? How did that all work through?
Yeah, that's a big time surprise.
That's huge, man. That's huge.
Tell me about it.
It just kind of happened. I mean, I was been doing my thing, and I was approached.
Approached by who?
A guy named Chris Herring. He just ran for mayor.
Okay.
And he approached me and was, we started talking about some things, and he said, we talked to Texas representatives and they really love what you're doing, and they would like to honor you and help you to be able to get into schools, because that's a big issue right now. I'm not getting into the schools.
That's what I was wondering.
I'm not getting into the schools yet. I'm working with each parent individually. So my main goal is to get into every school. I want it to be like the DEV program used to be, where
That's dope.
you pull up to the schools and you get these kids excited about not bullying and respecting each other, because there's not one kid, I don't care if you're the biggest bully of the bullies, if I ask you, do you like to be bullied, you're gonna say no. So that means nobody like to be bullied. So if nobody like to be bullied, then we need to be standing up for each other. If you see somebody getting bullied, then tell it stop. And if you see somebody bullying somebody else, you don't need to be laughing at them and interrogating and doing all that. Tell them, hey man, chill, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's one thing to clown and play, but then there's another thing to bully.
But one thing I've always, going into schools are awesome. But I was like, if you can meet all the counselors in some of these schools and just let them know that if they see something going on, that they can, they can reach out to you and you can, attack. Because my biggest fear being a parent, and my kids are getting in high school and college now, so I hope that they're over all of that. But so many times I've heard parents talk about, I didn't know my child was being bullied, because the child hide it so well. Yeah. They don't come to their parents and say what's going on at school, because they don't want their parents going up there and making it worse. So to say, they felt like they want. So as a parent, what are the signs? How can we know that this is what's going on with our kids?
I tell all my parents, make sure you keep that communication open with your child. It started early when they 2 years old. Start talking to them, and make sure they know. Okay, make sure they're used to hearing your voice, and not always a disciplining voice, a friend voice as well. You want to also be like a friend to your child as well. I don't recommend just being a friend to your child, but having that friend element to your parenting is very important, because what that does is it opens up doorways for your child to communicate with you. And if they see you that way, then they look at you as somebody that they can confide in. And so that's what you want. But other than that, ask questions frequently. How's your day going? Mm-hmm. If you get into the routine of asking your child how their day going, it's going to come out if something is happening with them, because they're going to be so used to talking to you about their day. It's going to be a natural reflex for them to say, oh, and this happened today. So that's why you get used to talking to your child about their day. Don't just let them come in the house and start watching TV or doing something and not ask, how was your day?
And let me add on to that, because being a parent, I've asked my kids, how was your day? It was okay.
Yeah. There you go.
All right.
I want details.
You have to specifically ask your child.
Yes.
So what happened in math class today?
Exactly.
What happened at lunch today?
Yeah.
Did anybody? And you don't even have to surround it around that child. Say, what happened at school today? Did anybody fight today? Because sometimes these kids don't want to talk about their own problems. They'll talk about everybody else's situation. Yeah. But they're not going to tell you about theirs. Yeah. I think I'd be like, because I had to learn that, because in the beginning I would always say, how was your day? And they'd be like, oh, it's okay, and then you leave it alone. Yeah. But I learned you have to be very
exactly what
specific.
I mean. That's exactly what I'm saying and referring to.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Man, I'm gonna ask you about, first of all, man, we come down here from Dallas to really come down here to see you and what you've been doing, and we proud of you.
Yeah.
How did you first meet Big Tuck?
Big Tuck, man. Big Tuck. I met Big Tuck years. I mean, when he was DSR, we was third degree.
Okay.
But man, I don't know if I have a song with Tuck, actually. I don't know. Did you mean Big How?
No, I meant Big Tuck.
Big Tuck, okay.
Because he told me yesterday when I called him, he said, yeah, that's my guy, man. Just that y'all knew each other. That's all.
Yeah, man, I ain't seen Tuck in so long.
He said you was his guy.
Yeah,
though.
but I thought you was talking about how.
No, I'm gonna ask you about that. But
nah, man,
just because of hip hop, you know what I mean?
So Big Tuck, Tum Tum, all them boy, Fat Bastard, that's DSR.
That's right.
And they was right there with us. So, you had DJ Screwed Up Click.
That's right.
Then you had the Swisher House. And then the Swisher House started breaking up. Then they had Boss Hog Outlaws, Color Changing Click.
That's right.
And then you had Freestyle Kings with Charlie Boy and them. And then you had DSR. And then you had Third Degree, which is us, which DSR was Dallas. Everybody else was Houston, and then we was San Antonio, and so that's when we linked up with DSR and George Lopez, who's the owner of DSR, who was the CEO.
That's my
DSR.
boy. Yeah. Shout out to George. He's been on the show a few times.
We done, man. I just haven't seen Tuck in a very long time. But man, we came up together with them, man. We done all kind of shows, and man.
When I told him I was coming down here, because that's my guy, I tap in with him. Yeah. I was like, man, Big Tuck, I said, I'm finna go down here and see King Kylie in San Antonio. He was like,
I need to connect.
He was like, man, that's my guy right there.
Yeah,
so I thought that was dope, man. I love the way that everybody show love, like your era, your peers. You know what I mean?
And that's
they see you and they respect you, and I think that's hard, bro.
But you know how it is. Like I tell anybody, it don't matter how long you didn't actually connected with somebody, as long as y'all actually connected. And when you connected, you knew that realness was there. It don't matter how much time passed.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, that's why I was saying I need to get Tuck number from you.
No, let's get it, man. Ain't nothing, man.
Get off, man.
Definitely, man.
It's been over 10 years since I've seen him, man.
Yeah. He definitely respect you, and he defintely acknowledged you when I said I was coming to see you, and I thought that was live because I knew that was your peer.
And from that, man, Lil Flip part of the anti-bully gang.
I didn't know that. Yeah. I told me and Flip on FaceTime. He ain't been on Boss Talk yet.
Flip been to schools with me.
Really?
Yes, man.
How did you and Flip even end up meeting? Because he was from Cloverland, right?
Yeah.
And you and him still the same era. That's your peer.
Yeah.
Like, how did you end up meeting Lil Flip?
Man, Flip. Golly, let's see. So yeah, I was born in Houston. You know what I'm saying? And I moved down here. I was 18, 19 years old. Moved to San Antonio, and when I moved here, I started rapping on the east side with this guy named Big Roddy, big legend out here in San Antonio. And then I started rapping with this squad called Third Degree.
Okay.
And so when I got with Third Degree, our CEO was working on this new mixtape, and he got flipped for a feature.
Okay, there you go.
And so when he got flipped for a feature, me and Flip connected instantly. We smoking in the car. Remember, this is the first day I met him. We smoking, hanging out. And I'm, at this time, thinking like, this the coolest shit in the world, because this the goddamn Leprechaun. This is, Mr. I Can Do That. You know what I'm saying? Like, a game over. You know what I'm saying? Like, this Lil Flip, bro. And we getting the, we chilling with him, close to him. You know what I'm saying? And so from then on, we just connected, bro.
Wow.
And he ended up getting on the Rather Bang Screw remix.
Okay,
you know
okay.
What I'm saying?
I want to talk to you about that Rather Bang Screw. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to talk about Big Hawk. You thought I'm on point over here. This Texas talk,
and
baby.
you know what's crazy about Flip is we brothers, man. That's my brother.
That's
like,
hard.
I call him. We always gonna be there. Like he a phone call away, man. And it's always been nothing but love. Flip one of the most solid individuals, most working hard individuals in the game.
I've heard a lot of great things about him since I've been doing this show, and we've talked on a few occasions.
FaceTime too.
Powwow was on. That's my longest standing interview. Like he did almost 4 hours with me. So that's my guy right there. Like he showed me mad love, but I knew him way before Boss Talk.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that when I just did the video with Slim Thug. I love that anti-bullying stuff you doing.
Of course, see it.
Then I linked up with Zero. I love that anti. I said, man, okay, this making an impact, man.
It definitely making a difference.
All my peers and all the guys that I look up to is all like showing me love and respect, not only for my music, but for the work we doing in the community. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yo, the deal is, man, I'd rather bang screw. Like, this is a big song, one of the ones that I know of, you know what I mean? It's legendary, bro. Yeah. Like, to be able to say you got a song with the late, great Big Hawk is huge, homie. Yeah. So talk to me how y'all even locked in to even do that.
So, yeah, me and Hawk got put on as features on that song, you know what I'm saying? But it's all our song because, out of an agreement that was made when the song was put together. It was on all our albums and everything.
So y'all all done shared that song at some point on projects?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so this was my first time meeting Hawk, and I was able to meet him when he was doing the verse to the song. So I was there with him, and he heard it, and we linked up, and he loved it. And from what he heard with I'd Rather Bang Screw, he instantly took me under his wing, man. And so me and him talked, I think it was maybe 3-4 weeks, and then that's when he was killed. Wow. So we had talked every day until he died. And our talks was, he finna, like I said, take me under his wing. He was talking about shows he wanted to bring me to, work on some more music, link up with me, show me the ropes, he really took a liking to me. And so even though I knew him only for let's see, it was 3-4 weeks until he had died, but I had met him like maybe a couple weeks before that. So I would say probably maybe 6 weeks I had known him. You know what I'm saying?
When you think about it, when I had Key on the show the last time, we presented him with a painting. I went through all of the different artists on there, and when he got to Big Hawk, he was like, that was my homeboy. Mm-hmm. We lived together for a few years. He might have said 3 years, but they lived together, and that was his partner. Like, and I didn't know that before that, because Key he surprised me with different elements of the game when he come. That's why I love interviewing him. You know what I mean? And the thing is, man, I just, when I look at different ways, man, God give you a time with certain people, man, and I think that's dope that he gave you them 4 weeks with Big, to get to know Big Hawk before he did get out of there. Mr. Lee also spoke about the last time he left his studio and then before that happened. So it's different phases and things that I hear these different artists have, you know, with different people. And I even too from my OG over the OG Pyru, the one that he got ties with Tupac and all these different people. And it's just stuff like that, man. That's how I get to understand who they was, you know, on a personal level through you guys' vision when you share time with them.
Yeah, man. Hawk was a super genuine guy, man. And I think, you know, a lot of stuff would have been different for me in music if Hawk didn't get killed.
Wow, that's hard. That's
you know
hard.
what I'm saying? Because it was so many things and so many doors that I know that he was gonna be opening for me that I probably would have never. To this day, I haven't got through them doors because, you know, like, no, for real, like Hawk took that. I'd rather bang Screw. You know, that song it's like one of the biggest Texas records to date, and so he already knew that, and so from that and the way that I sung that hook, he just was like, man, it's a weird thing that like when you see an artist and you see something in them, and then you like, man, like I'm gonna do something to help this artist, and so even though I knew Hawk for that long, he left that impact on me. So to this day, that's what I'm doing. I'm helping artists like he was gonna help me.
That's hard.
You know
I want to ask you something. Like, how big was it when? Just tell me how it happened when Kiki came to you about the Lone Star Cypher and he invited you to be on that track with him.
Man.
Because I thought that was so big. He hit me up on a couple of those guys on there. Yeah. But when I seen you on there and then you were rapping like you was, I was like, man, that nigga right there hard.
Yeah,
man.
You know, dream come true, dog. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm one of them ones that was listening to Kiki on the real great tapes. You know what I'm saying? I can name all the tapes, leaning on the switch, all that, man. And so for Kiki to reach out to me, man, and for me to have records with him that actually did very great, really is just dream come true, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't even, there's no other way to explain it. Truly an honor. But out the blue, man, out the blue, you know, me and Key been cool for a long time now, but he just hit me out the blue, man, and just was like, hey, I'm doing this remix, and you know I got to get every city from Texas that's popping, and I got to do San Antonio, and I can't do San Antonio without having you on there, and that's how it happened.
Wow. And just what do you think Lil Kiki mean to Houston?
I mean, so the whole era of Swisher House, and then all the other ones that I named, from the Freestyle Kings to DSR, the Third Degree, the Slim Thugs, and the Paul Walls, and the Chameleonaires, and Mike Jones, and I don't think that would have happened without that Kiki influence.
Wow.
People don't understand that he was the first one. He was the first one. Pimpin' Pins, bro, that was the first, you know, come on, man. You feel me? Like, Southside, that whole element, I believe it was around him and ESG.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my guy, ESG.
And of course, you know, Fat Pat, you know what I'm saying, with Ghetto Dreams. But if I'm not mistaken, Kiki was before that. He was before all that. Because I think Kiki was, 94, 95. And then they was later on, 98, 97, you know what I'm saying? So Kiki was the one that kicked it off like, this shit is cool.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Rap like this. So I would have to say he the grand master, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
When it comes to Texas Underground, I don't look at like Ghetto Boys and Kiki as the same type of genre.
That's right.
You know, it's different. The Screw era, Underground era, you talking about no major labels. You know what I'm saying? Scarface, you know, had majors. You know,
that's right. That's right. You're right.
Major labels. So when it comes to the Underground era, Lil Kiki is the godfather of it all. He's the grandmaster of it all. When you look at it and you look at the swag and the style and everything that he brought, he was the one that did it on the screw tapes first. So that's why Slim Thug and them thought it was cool. Kiki was the one that did it first. That's why Paul Wall and Mike Jones and all them guys thought it was cool. You know what I'm saying? Now you got the Travis Scotts and the, you know what I'm saying? All that was born from that, man.
Wow, and Paul Wall played no games about it, and letting you know that Key is his guy. You know what I
mean? he the one, not the two, man. So
that's hard.
You know, Kiki gonna always have that. I was right there. I saw it.
You saw it firsthand.
I was right there. And you, like I said, this back 94, 95, bro. Like, yeah.
Wow, man. And you named some stuff, man. That's why I know you know your history when you start breaking down how it all developed from DJ Screw, and from you talked about Swisher House, and you talked about all the elements, the Boys in Blue, you talked about Slim Thug and Boss Hog Outlaws and Color Change and Click. You named all of those guys. And I wanted to ask you about just Slim Thug. You and him just did a banger, man. And like, how was that? How was it even linking up? I just interviewed Slim Thug, man. One of the realest dudes when it come down to. I love the way his voice is. But the nigga got a deep voice, nigga. Big Extra Plug a deep voice, nigga. I interviewed him, but these deep voice niggas, man, like Biggie. You know what I'm saying?
Look, you know, I know many people may not like this, what I'm about to say.
Come on with it.
But I feel like it's the truth, man, because you had DJ Screw, and DJ Screw is the originator. And what I'm about to say is gonna bring it back to Slim Thug.
Okay.
I think this is my point. But you got DJ Screw, who's the originator. But then you have Michael Watts that came in. I feel like Michael Watts perfected the DJ Screw sound and made it sound more quality and more commercial, because Watts took out all the sound, all the air,
you're right.
The background. He made it sound clearer. It was strategic with how he did his shit, and so he kind of perfected what Screw created. To me, Slim Thug perfected what Kiki created, because Slim Thug took it to a whole nother level with the element of what Kiki had. Slim Thug took it to, nigga, I ain't gonna from the worry about talking about I'm some little young dude trying to come up. Nigga, I'm the boss.
Wow. And you know,
from the jump, dog.
I agree. I agree with you. Man, Mr. Lee is a hell of an element in that whole thing.
Oh yeah,
right? Like he's holding all of it up.
Mr. Lee produce it
because he's making this sound.
None of that happening without Mr. Lee.
None of it's happening without him.
No, hell no.
But and Mr. Lee say, of course, and y'all, here I go. I had to bring it in here.
Yeah.
There, Mr. Lee, all them sounds you hearing, you wouldn't hear them without Pimp C. So I'm just saying, because he's talking about the Screw and the way he did his music.
See, this is the thing why I didn't mention Pimp C and Bun B, because
I'm talking about Pimp C, the producer. So many people want to. We got to talk about the real. There's too many elements of Pimp.
Singer.
There you go. You can't just talk about it.
There's too many elements to Pimp C.
There you go, and that's what I want to. There's a lot of different things going on.
A lot of people don't even know he was making the most of them beats.
Oh, he killed it.
He's the one making the beats. He was the one singing the hooks in the background, even the high pitch hooks.
Come on,
that was him singing in the background.
KLC was real big on telling us that early on about how he respected his production.
He was a musical genius. Bun B was the lyricist, but
of course,
Pimp C was the musical genius all the way around the board.
You got to do something with Bun. Let me see. You and Bun?
I just went to Trill Burger, but Bun B.
Y'all need to link up.
Man, we do. But Bun B reached out. He followed me on Instagram. He showed me major love, supporting my anti-bully gang. Bun is a really super individual, and I truly appreciate him for all the love, man. We just connected. And
just connected.
On the post, we just
on
collaborated.
The post, yeah. Well, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
Now everything starts, man. Like I say, man. One thing I can say about Bun, he understands his position. Being that when I interview him, right, like I understand, you know, Bun. There's Bun. You got Bun, you know, from all the way back. You know what I'm from Big Timers. You got the Bun that came up and started dealing with the fact of, you know, the Free Pimp C movement, you know what I mean? You got the Bun, before that, the Pocket Full of Stone Bun and all that too. But I'm talking about then you got the Bun after Pimp died, and then you got the Professor Bun, where he went to the schools, right? And started helping the kids and helping the listen at Rice. Now you got the Bun. Bun is a entrepreneur. You know, this element of Bun is different, right? Yeah. So now you think about it. I've seen him do things where he's, you know, shown love to a lot of different people in this stage, just like he's doing to you now. And I love the way he just keep evolving and and no matter how he get hit, he bounced back and resilient.
That's that's that Texas shit. You know what I'm saying? But Bun one of them ones. He one of them ones that's taking it to new heights and doing things that artists is not doing. I don't know no artist that's killing food chains right now. You know what I'm saying? So Bun B is the man. He definitely all time Mount Rushmore to me in Texas for sure.
Wow, man. And,
Hold on, I got a question too.
oh well, get to it because the interview must go on.
So, what is your end all? I know you talk about getting bullying into schools, but what exactly is your end all goal with your with the bullying gang?
Number one, like I said, I want to get into all schools like the Derek program. I want to create something to where we can do maybe like a rally, anti-bully rally at each school. We have all the kids coming to the auditorium. The kids can, maybe give us like 30 minutes to an hour, maybe 30, 45 minutes, whatever the school got, whatever time you got. I want to be able to connect with the kids. I want to be able to talk about bullying, talking about respecting each other. I'm able to touch kids in a different type of way. I'm able to touch kids to make them understand fast, like quick, fast, in a hurry. The number one thing I tell a kid, do you like being bullied? I tell a bully, you find out somebody being bullied, you like being bullied? Then why are you bullying people? Don't you want to be blessed in life?
Wow.
Don't you want blessings to flow? You got to respect people if you want that to happen. And so it's very easy to connect, for me to connect with a child off the rip. And so once I do that, then I show them I'll never ever jump down a child's throat if they're a bully. Never, because they only bullying because either they was taught that or they going through something at home. So my first job is to connect with that child and make sure that they're okay. Then we got to show how it's wrong. Then we got to make them feel bad for what they're doing. But you could do that just by expressing and showing them the effects of what they're doing. And then they realize, and then it helps them to change.
Y'all have y'all teamed up with any like dojos, karate instructors to try to teach some of these kids how to
say that.
Self-defense?
So part of our services are we have licensed therapists on deck to help kids talk to children if they need somebody to talk to help them with their mental. We help with the mental and we help with the physical. We have ex-professional MMA UFC fighter, Mr. Ray Rodriguez. He opened up a gym, and in his gym, he has allowed anybody from the anti-bully gang to come practice and work out for free and get trained for free. So we are able to teach our kids self-defense and MMA training.
What's up, man? Welcome to the show.
What's going on?
Who is this guy? Who is this guy?
What's going on? I'm Keith.
Keith what?
Keith Herrera.
Keith done came up on my show unannounced.
You gotta talk straight into
Keith
the
who?
yeah.
Keith Herrera.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll let him make it. We just showed up. We don't know who he is. Keith, how you doing, man? Welcome
good,
to
bro.
Boss
How you
Talk
doing?
101, man. I wanted to get you in here. Just, I wanted to know kind of how you and my boy Kylie hooked up, and just give me a rundown.
Yeah, for sure. So, my ex-wife, she called me one day. She told me that my son RJ was getting bullied at school, mostly about his height. I'm kind of lacking in that department, so he gets it from me. I dealt with it for most of my life, so she called me and I had seen Kylie do the anti-bully gang. I seen it on Facebook, so I reached out to him, and me and him have we kind of gone back. I've been a big fan of his for a long time, and we linked up. He actually performed at my daughter's quinceañera years before. I kind of
I forgot. I didn't even know.
Yeah, he didn't even realize it until that day, and I hit him up, and he came by. He was willing to come by, bring the anti-bully gang out to the school, and it was we had an amazing turnout.
Yes, we did.
It was a great crowd. Yeah, I think the video pretty much went viral.
I think it hit 1 million.
Yeah, it definitely got over 1 million views. And it was real good. RJ was pretty impressed by it. I mean, to me, it touched my heart for my son, because everybody in the school was there, and they were coming up to the cars. They were rushing Kylie, and I went and I grabbed him, and he didn't realize that everybody was there for him. And so when he saw it, and he knew that it was bigger. Everything was bigger than him. Everything was bigger than the bullying. And after that day, he made a miraculous turnaround. in school with as far as his confidence went. Kylie, you know, he comes and he checks in all the time, always hits me up and checks out, how's RJ doing? How's RJ doing? And I mean, I had an update for him, I want to say like not even 2 weeks after it happened, not even like 2 weeks after it happened, his principal called me and he was like, hey, you know, RJ's become even more of a leader now. Something happened at lunchtime where some kids had spilled some stuff and he was able to get up and he, you know, like he encouraged them like, hey, let's let these, you know, let's go clean up our mess. Like, let's go clean it up. And he helped them clean up the mess instead of the janitors, started becoming more of a leader. And proud to say, you know, now he's, yesterday was his last day of middle school, so he's going to start high school now. He's in football. He's in theater, you know.
Good stuff, man.
How old was he when we first linked up?
Oh, man.
What grade was he?
He was in sixth grade.
Sixth grade, right?
He was in sixth grade. Yeah. And now he's going on to high school. He's in theater. He's in football. He's in a lot of different programs, and he's doing good.
Wow, man. It's just, it's a dope thing, man, to see this really like in real time, right? Sixth grade to what grade is he in now? Ninth?
He's now going into ninth, yeah.
So for these years that when King Kylie came in and you guys started linking up, how's his grades and stuff been?
His grades were never an issue.
They was always good.
Yeah, they was always good, but I think he's done even better because now he's become even more of a leader and they expect more of you. You know, he was a pal. He was in drama. He actually got an award for one of his, he was in charge of lighting for a certain play. He got an award for the play. He's back in football again. He's excited to do football again this year for going into high school. And I'm happy to report that he shot up in height. He shot up in height. He passed me. Go
ahead, Mr. Maker. Is there anything you want to add? I know you're always talking about the kids. I mean, this guy right here got to experience the anti-bullying gang, you know, just basically firsthand.
Right. The only thing that I spoke to Kylie earlier about is that being a parent, you have a lot of these kids who hold things in and won't tell you that they're being bullied at school. Mm-hmm. How can parents, you know, see the signs without their child actually opening up? I know he was saying you have to have that line of communication, but what's supposed if they still don't open up? How can a parent really just see certain signs and know that, okay, something's wrong? Maybe I need to go up to the school and talk to a counselor, talk to the teachers to figure out what's going on.
Man, that's a really good question, and I think, you know, communication is key. Communication with and I think about it all the time. You know, especially in this day and age, people are attached to their phones 24/7, and I think us as parents, we got to do better. Mm-hmm. We got to do better. We got to put the phones down and give our kids that, you know, that time, that dedication to get in their minds and see what's really going on in their heads. Because I know with RJ. You know, he held a lot of that in, and you know, for us, we were lucky enough to, I guess, say that everything came to light with an incident at school, but the incident wasn't that bad. Some people don't get that. So it's, you know, you have to put the phone down, talk to your kids, get in their minds, see where their head is at, and I'll spend more time with them. I think, you know, like I said, just this day and age with everything that's going on, it's a hard time, and you really have to dedicate that time. If you truly care about your kids and everything like that, you got to dedicate that time, put the phone down, talk to your kids. And
you just asked about something. What did we just talk about today? What are we about to get started, RJ, in?
We're going to do the jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that's what I asked him about earlier, because boxing and martial arts teach discipline. Mm-hmm. And then not only that, but give them confidence to know that I can defend myself against anybody who do want to, you know, bully me or attack me.
Yeah, it's a certain confidence it gives you. So
right.
That's why we incorporate that into what we're doing. And then at the end of every school year, what do?
We went to what did we go last? Dave & Buster's was last year. Yeah. Doing main event now.
Yeah. Yep. So we go hang out. We make sure that we keep a relationship with these families, and we let them know, you know, like RJ's my little brother, man.
Yeah, I applaud y'all for doing this, because if we could create something like this in each territory,
yes,
and have it in the schools, then I think this would eliminate a lot of these school shootings, yes, because that's what I think it stems from. It's bullying, and some of these kids are getting tired and don't feel like I have no other way.
Exactly.
So they go in there and just, act a fool, whatever. But if we can stop this and address the issue the earlier, it'd be better.
Yeah, it will be.
Get OG over here. I want to see, because he wants to talk about, I want to see if he got anything to add to bullying, or do he know anything about, because being a bully himself, or being bullied when he was in 1954, I don't know if that equate. He was bullied early on. I want to tell you a story that he gave about some guys throwing something on him, rotten eggs on him when he was a kid.
Man.
And
that didn't have nothing to do with no bullying. There was some peckerwoods. This man go too far. The hell?
In the 50s.
You know what I'm saying? So this man just go overboard.
That is major bullying, right?
That's the pecking order. Yeah. It learned me one thing, how to get back.
Yeah.
But which Mr. Maker was saying earlier about your growing up without a father, but your father was in your life, and the things that you're going. My father was in my life until my father died at 13 when I was 13. But it made me realize 13 years is not a long time to be with anybody.
Man.
The first 6 years I was a mama's boy. And then from 6 to 8 or 9, I was going with my dad back and forth. And we all were in the same house. My mother and father came from Mississippi. My father was in the service. My mother graduated from Jackson State University. I don't have the hard time stories. I've been in the same house all of my life. Hey. 921 West Elm Street, by the grace of God. But at 13, when my father died, I was in the element. And like you said, it took a turn. And my mother was out of Mississippi, so I took to the streets. And my heroes were street guys, you know. And what you were saying about, I didn't grow up being bullied, but I was the littlest. I know how to fight because I got beat up a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? I had busted lips, busted noses. Then I got in, when you talk about karate, at 15, I started Hapkido karate. And that's the thing about the discipline. I was like him. I didn't start growing until I was in prison. You know, when I went to prison, I was a $105, 5'8". Man. I went to the whole 2 years. I came out, I was bigger than everybody else, you know, but I always had the little guy mentality, you know, so it's in this dispensation, and I just came from a seminar, a gang intervention in Memphis, Tennessee, and we have a problem with Memphis, Tennessee, the prison population, blacks on black GDs, Pyrus, trying to take control of a yard. And since in 3 months they had 9 stabbings and 4 killings, blacks on blacks, and taking control of a prison that they didn't have no control over. They still, the same white man opened the gates for them when all this came out. So we were talking about readjusting, like what we have to do with the gangs, and all the gang affiliates came around. And so one of the brothers out of the GD, we got to go back to boxing, take them in the backyard. That's not going to work, guys. I hate to give you the memo. You got a different type of child today. That grew up with their mothers, and they have emotionalism. If you fight me and beat me, I'm going to kill you. So we have to find an alternative. Because every good fighter is not a killer. And every killer is not a fighter. So trust and believe. So we have to understand, what do you do for that medium? When we talk about the kids that were bullied, they were potential serial killers anyway. They said most serial killers never smoked, never drank. They were introverts. And they see life too well, and they take it out on everything. You know what I'm saying? So when we deal with basic bullying, how do we compensate, especially with boys? And now girls are getting so active. We got more girls putting in work in California than the dudes. From junior high school, girls fighting over girls. I mean, fighting, shooting, stabbing. And dudes is kicking back like weenies. So when you say you're bullying in the gang intervention, when we deal with the scope of what's happening today, because we promote the things that we go on. Do you realize video games, when you associate your child with a video game, Call to Duty, Grand Theft Auto, all the shooting they do you realize they never shoot a white man? So you teaching your 3 and 4-year-old how to be a killer at 16. I started off burning red ants, and then we started shooting chichi birds. Then we started shooting rabbits. Then I shot a dog, and the first black I shot was at 16. You know what I'm saying? It was a progression. Now the progression is in video games, and it's us on us. Feel what I'm saying?
So how do we contribute to? How would you take this all across the U.S. The anti-bullying?
Anti-bullying? What you mean? Take it?
As far as to all the schools everywhere in every state.
How would it go?
How would you propose doing something like that? I'm just reaching.
Oh, we set it up like a tour. Set it up like a tour. Yeah.
I'd like to see them vans in every city.
Yeah, it's much
in
needed.
every city.
Yeah,
that'd be dope, right?
But I would like to take it. We got buses.
Oh yeah, the buses.
Yeah,
everything black and white.
Yeah,
man,
buses. Yeah.
Stop playing, man.
Yeah.
Man, I had to get OG on here because I know he gonna give me something I ain't finna ask nothing about. That's my guy right there. He's straight out of another whole world. I mean, from the 50s to the. When he tells stories,
so you have to emphasize the 50s, huh?
Because the 50s is where you started. You jumped off the porch for all of us.
I ain't had no damn porch.
Thank y'all, man, for coming on the show, man. We love y'all, bro. I love the way you deal with the music, man. I don't think this will be our last interview. I think we're gonna get out some more.
Yeah, we got way more to talk about.
We got way more to talk about, man. It's going down, man. Hey, guess what, y'all? It's been another great segment of Boss Talk 101. How can people get a hold of you? I gotta say that.
You can hit me up on well, you ain't gotta hit me up. You can just check me out. Number one, you can just check me out on Google. Just Google King Kylie, and all my social media handles will come up. But King Kylie is pretty much everything anyway.
Already, man. Already. Boss Talk 101, man. What a boss talk.